I'm sorry. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga, and I fell asleep. An unplanned extended nap. But we're back! And I am here to catch you up on everything from the amended lawsuit that the queen of hearsay just dropped against Justin Baldoni. Toothless Blake alleges that other actresses and even crew members on the set of It Ends With Us were also victims of Justin Baldoni's abuse and inappropriate behavior on the toxic set that he was responsible for. She's been detailing all of the alleged infractions, and we left off at May 24th, 2024, Blake, No Receipts Lively, and this other female cast member were discussing how they were both feeling uneasy on set that day. Miss Lively confided that she felt like she needed to say something tonight after wrap, but that she's not sure how to navigate it, to which her cast member responded by offering words of support. Once again, the alleged extortionist does not include receipts. We are all just taking her word for it that these exchanges happened, or her pinky promise that this will all be shared when it's time for discovery. All right, pinky promise. We'll see you there. That same day, May 24th, 2023. Her lawyers made a mistake. I think her C-list lawyers meant to say May 24th, 2024. That would be the same day. You would think for all of the hundreds of thousands of dollars they're charging every couple of days that her attorneys, they're trying their hardest, but you'd think they'd have more eyes on what they're submitting, knowing that we would be pouring over all of this. And there have already been so many factual inaccuracies. Babe. That same day, Miss Lively confided in another woman who was a mutual friend of Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath. Okay, we already went over this, blah, blah, blah. They're repeating themselves. Meanwhile, Miss Lively and a female cast member discussed a plan to speak with Angie Giannetti, the Sony executive assigned to the production. I'm not reading everything. Let me skip to the good parts. Oh my God. I'm not even, let me rewind. This complaint is garbage. You know I was trying to approach this with an open mind, but her her D-list lawyers have failed to make a compelling case just with this amended lawsuit. Let's rewind, because I want you all to follow this train of thought, okay? Rewind. The cast member reached out to Miss Lively to ask if she had talked to Miss Giannetti and informed Miss Lively that her manager knows Miss Giannetti and would be willing to offer support. Miss Lively responded that she had spoken to Miss Giannetti for 45 minutes. When Miss Lively reached out to Miss Giannetti, who was supportive, Miss Giannetti texted Miss Lively that, quote, "What I did want to discuss feels very small in light of today's news. I'm so sorry, calling you in moments." What the F was today's news? What was today's news? That she felt uncomfortable? What exactly did she feel uncomfortable that the Sony rep responded to that? Let us freaking know. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. Oh, okay, all right, fine. They're telling us now. I'm reading in chronological order. But I would have put this part first and reversed the order. It would make more sense. In that conversation, I'm just waking up. In that conversation with the Sony rep, Miss Lively told her that she wanted to file an HR complaint about both Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath's misconduct. Although she was sympathetic The Sony rep told Ms. Lively that Sony, as the distributor of the film, was not empowered to oversee physical production, which included Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath's behavior on set, and that such concerns must be raised with Wayfarer, the studio responsible for the production. His studio. Miss Lively was concerned with this response because Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath were the chairman and CEO of Wayfarer, and Mr. Baldoni was the director of the film. If she was so scared, why didn't she do even more? Because she didn't sign her contract. She could have just not showed up to set and would not have suffered any repercussions. Miss Lively did not believe that either Mr. Baldoni or Mr. Heath would investigate their own alleged misconduct, and that belief was proven by subsequent events. In the meantime, following through on her prior text, the female cast member also had her managers contact the Sony rep to discuss that cast member's own discomfort with behavior by Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath and its negative impact on the work. The remainder of the text exchange shows how both women shared concerns about speaking up and the potential consequences of doing so. Miss Lively shared that she needed to tread carefully to salvage some degree of chemistry and camaraderie with Justin, who's not only my director, but love interest, and we're not even a third of the way done with filming. The two women then recounted their discomfort with their experiences with Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath, including one incident in which Mr. Baldoni secretly recorded them, and another in which he made unwelcome remarks about the female cast member's wardrobe. Miss Lively noted that Mr. Baldoni once asked her if he crossed a line, and when she said yes, he made a joke that he must have missed the sexual harassment meeting. Ha-ha, allegedly. Miss Lively and the female cast member discussed various examples of their uncomfortable and inappropriate interactions with Mr. Baldoni. Pause. Once again, Blake No Receipts Lively did not include receipts of the text between her and the female cast member. We're just taking her word for it. Pinky promise, it will all show up. But he's got subpoenas that he hasn't filed yet, and he needs to be. Miss Lively and the female cast member discussed various examples of their uncomfortable and inappropriate interactions with Mr. Baldoni, and on May 28th, Miss Lively explained that her concerns were not just with Mr. Baldoni's behavior, but the way that Mr. Baldoni behaved after being confronted with his line-crossing behavior. Quote, "He keeps referencing it, or disconnects entirely, or gets snippy and impatient as a director. He was so huffy after the sexy thing, I felt awful for saying something." That same day, Miss Lively continued by observing that both she and the female cast member are not people who can't take a joke or who can't work or understand blue. We're not that fragile. Referencing Mr. Baldoni, she said, "You just can't record people without asking. You can't speak to people sexually while not in character or while talking about a character. And if you overstep, you move on. It's the weirdness after that makes it feel bad. Like if we speak up, the vibes on set get funky and the work suffers." Well, lots more funky vibes to come. Oh my God. I'm back at it. I'm a little bit rested, and I want to hear your thoughts on all that we've learned in this video. Let's get to it in the comments section.